here for people like us, along with my lovely co-host, Tony Love Trower.
That's her, not me.
No, it's not him. It's not him. I mean, I'm sure he's lovely to somebody, all right? But yeah, we want to call it right. But no, we got a special show today, and we are we're actually focused. Well, first off, Tony, say hi. I'm sorry.
Hey, everybody.
All right. We want to let you know that we have something really special today going on, and this guy, I've known him for a long while. When it comes to music, he is one of the giants, especially in the Philadelphia, Delaware, and Jersey area. I want you guys to give a silent wave and everything else to Ollie Hackett.
I'll give you a peace sign. How you doing?
All right. There you go.
How you doing, everybody? Glad to be here. Glad to be
to-
here, man. It's good to have you. I mean, good to be here with you.
Hey man, thank you, man. I appreciate that. And you know, I know one time I was on your program, but now it's great to be able to flip the script and have you
Yes.
here with us, and we
Yes.
appreciate that.
Yes.
You are a true giant.
Thank you.
I want you to tell everybody and explain Ollie Hackett in terms of what you've done and what you're doing.
Wow, I don't know if I've ever been put the questions been put to me like that. I don't know. I can tell you this: Ollie Hackett is music.
There you go.
There you go. I think that's about the best way to describe it. When I married my wife, she is my wife, but I have a mistress who is the music, and she knew about that from me. And that is it. Music has brought me in this world, and I'm hoping that when I do go, it will be there to take me out. And I say that because in this thing called life, there's ups and downs, and music has always been there on my ups, and music has always been there on my downs to bring me back up again.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing. So, I mean, in regards to music and everything that you've done, I mean, like, you know, I know it goes into different facets and different avenues. Can you explain some of them for the people?
Well, the title King of the Oldies is something that I hold very, very dear. And I don't know if I even ever told you, this happened way long time ago at Loretta's Hi-Hat.
Okay.
And it was an actual ceremony that I got down on one knee and I was knighted on both, with a sword on both shoulders. With the, I just like to go the whole distance. By Rolls Royce Howard, matter of fact.
Really? Oh yeah, Rolls Royce. Yeah.
Rolls Royce Howard. He was the one that actually did the knighting. And at that night at Loretta's Hi-Hat, I became Ollie Hackett, King of the Oldies.
Oh, right.
And that title has been going with me ever since. And I'm very so proud that it's well earned, because people will call me just before you guys got here. Somebody called me and said, "Ollie, who did this song here?" And that just makes me feel good that somebody calls me,
Yes.
And say, "Well, who did such and such?" Well, I thought it was when I say, and I've got some people who are pretty knowledgeable of the oldies, if you will.
Wow.
And they'll call and say, "Well, I thought such and such." Matter of fact, the big thing that's going around the industry right now is the Luther Vandross stuff.
Really?
And if you noted, I don't know if you've seen the documentary or not, but they say that Roberta Flack pushed him out there, gave him a start more or less to push him out. That happens not to be true.
Okay, explain it, please.
That happens not to be true. There was, I won't say it's not true. I will say it's not all the truth. There was a young lady before him, before Roberta, that helped push Luther out there, but Luther wasn't ready to go yet. Her name is Maxine Brown.
Maxine Brown.
All in My Mind was her big song. Maxie and I are still very, very good friends, and I talk about her often. And there's a song that I play on my show from time to time that Luther sang background with her. And if you listen closely, you can hear Luther.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So I was a little disappointed that the legend that she is wasn't mentioned in that documentary. Okay, not that anything was wrong, because I guess people set it up the way they wanted to set it up. But yeah, Luther Vandross and Maxine Brown go way back.
I got a question for you. Did she also do G.C. Cameron or no? Do you
No.
No. Okay. Make sure. Okay.
No.
There's somebody else like that.
And I talked to him last week also.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, G.C.'s he's a great guy.
Yes, he is.
Man.
It's so hard to say goodbye. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
really great.
Yeah.
Well, that is awesome. So, if somebody calls you about the oldies, do you ever, at any point, find yourself at a point where you don't know the answer?
Well, there is maybe not that I don't know if I can't remember it at the time, because I'm not 25 anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you're getting younger.
I'm not 25 anymore.
Okay.
Things used to just pop up like that. Or if it's an intricate question, then I'll need to go look it up and I'll get back to them. Yeah, so a lot of stuff is like right here, still floating right around. But then there's some, if I want to go into detail, if you will, then I sort of have to go look it up and make it down. Get, hey, look, this is this, and this is where, blah, 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 that type of thing there. Sometimes the years get a little fuzzy, too. You know, the years get a little
I can
fuzzy.
imagine the years.
Yeah,
There's a lot of information there.
Exactly.
You mentioned that you're taking a little hiatus. Is this like is this for just the holiday
Yes,
season?
yes,
Okay.
yes.
So
yes.
like, what radio station when you go back are you going to be on?
Yes,
And
yes.
And is that the only radio station you've ever worked for? Have you worked for any others?
I've worked for multiple radio stations. Right now, I'm just doing 2 WPPM 106.5 FM out of Philadelphia, and RememberThenRadio.com on a Thursday night from 8 to 12. I'm sorry, I put that out wrong. RememberThenRadio.com every Thursday night from 8 to 12. Okay, and then there's WPPM on Friday nights from 10 p.m. until 2 a.m.
Okay.
Which is a part of Philly Gam, if you will.
Wow.
Yeah,
Man.
so I do
Late-night
those.
hours.
Then I've got, I've always done that.
I know.
I've always done that. And then there's my TV show that comes on Wednesday evenings at 7 o'clock. And then I do a podcast.
Well, where will people be able to see that, your TV
That
show?
Salt, Pepper, and Memories is still on every Wednesday evening at 7 o'clock on phillycam.org/watch.
Okay.
Yeah, 7 o'clock every
We'll
Wednesday.
put that up on the screen for everybody.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. I'm looking to, start. Those are the reruns that we've done before. COVID came in and just shut everybody down, as you remember.
Yeah.
It shut everybody. So I haven't had any new shows since then, but I'm looking now for a venue to start picking it up and get that back in again.
Okay.
That show was created when COVID hit, actually. I said, now that everybody, the artists are shut in, we're shut in, the jocks, everybody's shut in. So I said to myself, what can I do to continue on and keep my audience close to the artists? So I said, well, why not do a show? And so I called one of my very good friends, I called Martha Reeves. Martha Reeves in the Vandellas.
Yeah, listen, Martha Vandellas.
And I said, hey, babe, would you do something? I said, consider this. Would you come on a Zoom call and talk to us, my audience, about your experiences in Motown? And I said, mainly about her love for Marvin Gaye. That was it. With that, she can go on forever with that. Okay, she can go on forever with that. But she said she would gladly do it. So I said, this is good. So my very first guest, and I'm so sorry to say he's no longer here, was, I just forgot his name, Soul Survivor.
You're talking about Charlie?
Kenny. I'm so sorry. Sorry, folks.
Yeah, because one of them died.
Yeah, Kenny. I'm trying to think of his name.
Ingwe?
No, he did. No, that's another one.
Okay.
But anyway, Soul Survivor. He was our first guest. He caught COVID and he died right after that. Then we had Martha come on. So since that time, we've had some of the biggest legends in the recording business that have been. We've had the Whispers.
Oh wow.
We've had the 3 Degrees.
Yeah.
I've had Leon Huff. I've had Gene Corn. That's just in Philadelphia here.
Right.
We've had Jerry Butler. We've had Brenda Lee Ager. And then when Brenda came on, she brought Jerry on too.
Really?
We've had the Mad Lads. We've had Bloodstone before Mac and what's his name just died. Just before those guys died. I went in my phone book and I found a name that I hadn't seen in a long time. And this is where the conversation went. I dialed the number. The young lady says, hello. And I said, you may not remember me, but my name is Ollie Hackett. I talked to your husband, who is gone now. She said, I don't know what your name is. She said, but if you got this number, you must be somebody important. She said, because this number hadn't changed in a long time. That person was Barry White's wife.
Really?
Love Unlimited.
Glodine. Yes.
So they came on and did the show, Glodine and her sister, or whatever. It was awesome. So we've had a lot of, with my connections, like yours, and being in this business so long, I've rubbed a lot of elbows. And I try to just stay in touch with those folks. One of the most interesting talks that we've had was the Whispers. And I'll tell you why. Because, and it was the most emotional show that I've ever had. My producer was crying. I was crying.
Really?
The Whispers were crying. Here's why. The song Olivia is a real life song to those guys. Gotcha. One of the guys in the band, this actually happened to his daughter.
Oh, wow.
So when Scotty was telling the story, he just broke down. Then his brother broke down. Then Lavelle broke down. It was very, very touching. It was the most interesting and heartfelt show that I've ever had.
You know you're gonna make everybody go
Go look it up now.
go to YouTube and look up the song Olivia.
It's a great.
By the Whispers.
Yeah, you have to do that because this is one of the reasons why I even did my show. And I told him when I first called him, you buy your ticket, say at the Dell, and you go to the show and you sit all the way back there or either up nose where your nose bleed and you watch the show. Then you go home and say, I saw the show. But you have no idea what the hell goes on behind the stage.
That's so true.
Yeah,
you have
true.
no idea.
Yes.
Very true.
You have no idea. When I taught at Temple, I brought Smoke in, who you're going to talk to soon,
Yes.
and I brought his wife in. Here's why. Smoke performs on stage, and everybody sees him gyrating, and he's laughing, and that's a great show. But his wife is the one that has to go back and find out, one, if they're going to get paid, and get paid,
Right?
and they have to find out all the stuff that goes on. Now, Sharon, she shared a story with me that I thought was just amazing, and that's one of the reasons why I brought her up to my class. She went to get paid and had to follow this questionable promoter into the male bathroom. She had to sit in there on the toilet for almost 35 minutes to get paid. And while they were in there, they were counting it out on the toilet. Now, again, it's nothing really bad, but I'm saying that's a very interesting story that people would want to hear about.
Right.
Martha shared a story with me that when they were in the pit at Motown, either recording or not, how Stevie Wonder, at that time a youngster, came down the steps in the pit and pinched one of the girls on the butt and ran back upstairs. See, that's a great story. It's not going to hurt anybody.
No.
But it's a great story because now somebody will say, when they're singing Heat Wave, I wonder if that's the song he pinched one of them on the butt.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or when he's singing Boogie on Ruby Woman, you know what I mean? So there's things that happen behind the scenes that I think are you're not going to find this stuff on the back of an album.
No.
Or on the insert of a CD.
Right.
This is stuff that people have to talk to you about and tell you that they've lived and they've breathed and, this, that, and the other.
Yes.
You know?
So does that mean you're going to write a book?
You know what? I would like to because people have been saying that to me for years.
You should.
Because I've got a lot of, different thoughts and, ideas and what have you. It's probably something I should look into.
I think it's something you should look into because you got a lot of stuff that people would want to hear.
Yeah.
And stories like that because there are, like you said, there are a lot of stories about people behind the scenes.
Exactly.
And a lot of people you talked about, I've actually played for, and I know, that everything up front is not what's behind.
Exactly correct. Exactly. All you do is when you go to the show, you get the finished product.
Right.
You don't get what led up to that. The argument with the promoter about you ain't got my money, or the guys that are on stage stepping and sweating and come off the stage and look to get paid, and the promoter that ran away with the money. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it has happened. I've seen it happen.
Yeah.
I've seen it happen. Yeah. So there's some great stories out there, good, bad, and indifferent.
Have you ever come across that? Has that ever happened to you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
How did you handle it?
I'll share a story with you with a very famous person that did that to me, but because she was who she was, I let it go. And I'm glad I did because it turned out to be in my benefit later.
Okay.
The young lady was named Miss Loretta from Loretta's Hi-Hat. She opened up a new club in, I think it was Paulsboro. Okay, she had left the Hi-Hat, sold that, and she opened up a news club, but she had me come down and play. I played for 13 hours. Nobody just I know I played that long. 13 hours.
Nobody.
I took a break maybe about 8 hours in, and she says to me, I said, well, Miss Loretta, she said, no, boy. She said, you go over there to the kitchen, get you a pork chop sandwich, go upstairs and lay down for 2 hours, come back down here and finish playing. I never questioned it. I went up, I got 2 pork chop sandwiches, and I came back. But she was the type of person that she's responsible for Gamble Enough.
Wow. Okay.
Why would I argue with her?
Right.
I didn't know that at the time. But I mean, she was a very, very powerful woman. And she connected me with other people. The Checker Club that was in Philadelphia.
Gotcha.
And some of those folks, what's his name? Sid Booker and
Sid Booker,
what's the one that was, what's his name, gosh? Oh man, I can't think of the name of the club. Broad and right there where you were, Route 1 crosses underneath. You see me on the right hand side.
I know the area.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, but she connected me with so many of the bar people, if you will. That you hire him and you play, he'll play, and this that. Biscuit at 40th and Market at Natalie's Lounge, which was a great place to be. I wound up playing Blueberry Hill. I don't know if you remember that. Hill. Man, that was a great place to play there. So I wound up and I started getting my wings, and well, not necessarily wings because I already had them, but I started knowing different people.
Right.
Around, and that's always a good thing, and it comes good from a recommendation from somebody like her.
In this business, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So that's the story that I'll share with you about not getting paid, if you will.
But you just invested in yourself.
I did.
A lot of times when we are not paid enough, but you look at the gig and you're like, I can't say no to this because I'm gonna be seen here, or this person's gonna see me. That's an investment in yourself.
It is. You spoke the truth, but I want to tell you that, in my opinion, today, the folks that have followed me don't look at it that way. Mm-hmm. It's all about the dollar right now.
Yeah,
it's all about the dollar. You're either going to pay me this or I'm not playing. You know what I'm saying? It's not about I don't think that they've even taken the youngsters that are playing, if they're playing. I don't even know what they're doing. I don't think they've taken the time to look at the business and see the business aspect of it and see what can be done. But it's all about the money now. It's definitely all about the money.
So does that make it better or does it make it worse?
I think it makes it worse because with the money situation, it becomes non-humanistic. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. It becomes like I'm doing a gig and then I'm going home. You don't get to know the people, to feel the people, to feel the atmosphere and what have you. And back in the day when we were playing, you had to build a club. Mm-hmm. You go there to play. The owner would pay you to play, but you build your crowd.
Right.
You know what I mean? You build your crowd. Now you got people coming from this place. And when I was at Loretta's Hi-Hat, on Sunday nights you could shut it down. We had people coming from everywhere. Wow. Then when I was playing, I played this at McGuire Air Force Base when I was in the service. I opened up and I happened to have the only person that has ever done this. I started at what they call the Airmen's Club on a Tuesday night. Mm-hmm. 50 people you could get in there. The first night we packed it out. The second Tuesday, they moved me to the service club, which was next door. 500 people could fit in there. By the end of the month, that was packed out. I couldn't go back in there. They didn't have any other place for me because I was only an airman. Right. I wasn't a lieutenant or anything like that, an officer. They didn't have any place. They wound up giving me a 747 hangar. They pulled the airplanes out, and I used a 747. Now, mind you, let me go back to this. This is on a Tuesday night.
Wow.
People got to go to work on Wednesday.
Right.
We had people coming from Maryland, from Jersey, from New York, from Philadelphia. People coming from everywhere to be a part of it. That's where I met Otis. You remember Otis? Givens that died.
Yeah.
That's where I met Otis at.
Really? Okay.
He came over there one Tuesday night and was dancing. I fell in. I said, this guy is awesome. But this was only we averaged somewhere in the neighborhood of 1,000, 1,200 people.
So what era was this in?
This was in the mid 70s. I was in the service then. Went in 71, and so this must have been at McGuire like 73, 74.
So back then, building your audience was different than building your audience now. What suggestions do you have for people now that are trying to build their audience in this era? Because we knew how it was back then. Word of mouth. Yeah. You were they sold vinyl back. People were purchasing.
Yes.
How what's the difference between building your audience back then and building your audience now?
I would. Social media has taken over everything. Mm-hmm. It's a big difference now. Instead of me, calling you on the phone and say, "Hey, would you come see me tonight?" or "Come by, I'm doing this," or whatever. Right. It's a big difference. Now it's blah, 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 and it's out there. Mm-hmm. But to me, this is fine. It gets more people and it's faster, but it's inhuman. Mm-hmm. It's like plastic.
Right.
It's like plastic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like there's no feeling with it whatsoever. Whereas I call you, I'm taking the time to sit down on my phone and call you. Now, you're on your phone at your home, we're talking.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right, May take us a few minutes to reach a certain level, but you're talking.
Right.
And then when you hang up, you say, wow, that was nice of him to call.
Right. Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Personal.
Exactly. So to me, it's not like that today at all. I started, as you well know, the oldies in the park.
Right,
You know,
right.
politics got involved and took that from me because I just don't like politics. But look at what that did. We had, I started in West Philadelphia at Malcolm X Park, 52nd and Pine
We
Street.
know exactly
We
what
know
it is.
exactly. We
Yeah.
played there every year.
I had done under Warren the Del East. I was when I was at WHAT. I was hosting the Del East, and I went to my sister Helen Goodwin, who has Stress Free Travel, and I said, babe, I want to give something back to West Philadelphia because they have always supported me at the Del.
Right.
So I said, can you set up maybe like one night I can play in the park for free? Well, that turned into 7 years.
Wow.
That one night turned into 7 years. But that's what I did. I brought my equipment out and I played the oldies from one night. And I can't sit here and tell you how pleased I was to see the people bringing their lawn chairs out.
Oh, wow.
And I'm talking the older folks, okay? You've done the jazz and whatever, so you know what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
But the older folks coming out and they're just, whether they want to dance or not, that's fine. But they sit and it's an evening, it's an event
Right.
for them for the evening. And they come and they sit, they bring the grandkids, they got the grandkids can run around over there, and they sit here and they just listen, and it's a good thing.
Yeah.
So that thing turned out in West Philadelphia 13 years. Yeah, 13 years. Every Friday night we was like jam-packed. So then I moved to South Philadelphia. And I said, I went to the people and I said, okay, let me try to do something. You got a park here? So I did it. And that moved to South. Then I took it to my hometown, Chester, Pennsylvania. So now you hear oldies in the park everywhere. But I was the one that created that.
Wow.
And one of my biggest nights was in 52nd Street. I had a bop contest
Oh, boy.
between West Philly and South Philly. And that
Oh, that
argument,
must have been a great promotional thing.
I'm telling you, and that's a thing that for boppers,
Yes.
that's a big, we bop better than you.
Yes,
you know,
yes.
And I'm telling you, from where I stood under the pavilion,
Right.
I could not see 52nd Street. I could not see Larchwood. I couldn't see. It was so many people. We had over 4,600 people in that
Wow.
park. And it wasn't an incident.
Really?
Wasn't in anytime
beautiful.
that I played, it wasn't an incident.
That's
You know what I mean?
beautiful thing.
And all they did was come out, enjoy the oldies, and go home.
Yeah.
That's what we did every week.
Man,
Every week.
That is beautiful. That's
Yeah.
absolutely great. I know we're getting to it at that time, but one question I got to ask you.
Sure.
Being the king of the oldies, how tough is it to keep a new set of, cause, oldies of course means dating back a certain time.
Yeah.
So how is it to maintain your crowd or get new people in? How does that work for you?
Well, and that's a very interesting question because if I'm going to stay in it, I'm sort of outdated, if you will, to a degree. But I'm not outdated to the people who love this kind of music.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha. Okay.
Now, that's one of the things that I enjoyed about playing the oldies because the older people or the people my age would bring their children and their
Right.
grandchildren.
Right.
So
And then
some
they
of
ha-
them,
they grow a love.
yeah, some of them got
Gotcha.
got acclimated to
Yeah.
the oldies. It's not their music, if you will, but they've gotten acclimated to it and they like it a little bit. So
Yeah.
therefore, that keeps you going. But my main thing is for the people that have grown up with me and still like this oldies music.
Right.
That's where I am. So I am sort of outdated. And that's why I don't get the phone doesn't ring that much anymore. But it's okay because I don't want to play for everybody. You know what I mean?
Right.
Young lady coming, my daughter's turning 16. Oh no, thank you.
Oh.
Let me see if I can find you somebody because I can't. 21, 16. I don't want to be bothered with that. Now a very good friend of mine who was a radio listener of mine. She turned 70. Now I jump at those opportunities
Right.
because that's around. They all
around
want to
the
hear
time.
the same type of music.
Right.
A 21-year-old don't want to hear that. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah. And that's the reason why I asked the question because as you evolve and go on, your show, especially being king of the oldies, it adheres to a certain group. But then if you don't build on that group, everybody's going to be around forever.
right, that's true. And our audiences are shrinking.
Yeah.
Even the legends are passing away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
So,
true. That is very
yeah,
true.
the legends are passing away. So I've got to find, there are pockets of oldie listeners around. And I've got to find those pockets and try to tie them together.
Wow.
That's my chore. That's what I have to do.
Right, okay.
I have to find the pockets. Now I just moved here to Delaware, so I have to find the pockets of oldie lovers in Delaware to tie them to the ones that are still with me in Philadelphia, and the still the ones that are in Jersey and the ones that have been following me. I've got to tie them all in.
Okay.
You know, that's the tough part. That's the job part.
Okay, has that been difficult so far?
Yeah, because of COVID.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Everything, COVID, everything.
Yeah.
Everything was different before COVID.
Exactly,
for sure.
exactly. You didn't get the chance to go out and hang out as much as you would or whatever. Yeah, everything is shut down.
Wow.
Everything is shut down.
Incredible.
Let me ask you this.
Sure.
Because we get all ages of people that watch this People Like Us program. For the people that are like younger or even, you know, my grandkids, like, they know how to do YouTube.
You have grandkids?
Yeah, I do. I do.
Wow! Wow!
Can you define, what is the definition of an oldie?
You know what? It depends on who you're talking to. Because if a song was created yesterday, it's an oldie.
Oh.
That's right.
It's an oldie.
That's right.
It really
Okay,
is. It's
okay.
created yesterday, no, but it's not in the category that I play.
Right.
Okay? I play from the 50s, 60s, and 70s.
Okay, so that's
and that's where I am.
Okay.
Now I may drift a little bit, a Michael Jackson, if you will, who was in the 80s.
Oh yeah.
And but I won't go too much past that because that's not where we are.
Right.
We grew up when you put on the records, and he'll tell you one of his favorite people was Georgie Woods. It sounded like somebody frying chicken in the background.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Or the needle would skip.
Yes.
And Georgie would have to be smart enough to pick that up and make that part of his show. Instead of saying, oops, or that wasn't supposed to happen. You don't do that. You have to make everything be a part of the show.
Right.
Everything.
Yeah.
That's just like the actors now. When they slip up on stage, you're not supposed to know that they slipped.
That's right.
They know it.
Right.
The script knows it,
Right.
but they're not.
The audience is not supposed
You're
to
not
know it.
Well, that's what I have to do with my show.
Okay.
You know, and things do happen. The electricity goes off, and I mean, all kinds of crazy things. You've had some ways.
Yeah, I've had some.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So you got to make that all part of the show, and then you'd be surprised when people go home and say, "Did you know what they did such a?" And you look and say, "Oh," that type of thing. I've watched Smoke many times. Smoke forgets the name of the. He forgets the words of the song, and he just makes something. I just look
Like
at
somebody else we know.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know.
I've seen him do it as well.
Oh yeah.
I've seen him do it as well.
What is he saying?
Yeah, I've seen him do it. I've seen him do it
Well,
as
you got to
well.
be able to do that because
Exactly.
You
it's not.
see me do this across the stage at him? I'm like, that means something's not right.
Yeah.
Listen, we got to do what you got to do. And you got as long as it rhymes, most people won't make it.
Exactly. They won't know.
They won't know. So that's a good thing.
You get a little laugh in yourself and say, "Oh man, I pulled that one off."
Oh yeah, or I do like this something.
Yeah. Sometimes you get those brain freezes. It happens. It happens. Yeah. I was at the Crab Tavern one night and Pamela Renee said something. He said, I said, "That don't supposed to be in there."
Yeah. That is very true. See, this is what makes this really beautiful. This is why I love what we do, and and this man is an absolute legend. For those of you who do not know Ali Hackett, I think you guys need to either Google him or whatever you need to do. But he's part of an era, but that doesn't mean he's exclusive to just that era.
Exactly.
And that is very important. So I want to state this. This is People Like Us. This has got to go on maybe 2, 3, 4, if you're available. 3 or 4 parts. We get parts.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. We got to do this.
You know, us disc jockeys, we like to talk.
And this was great today. This was absolutely great today. As always, I'm going to give, of course, the last word to these two here. First, Tony, what do you want to say?
I just want to say, if you like the conversation, if you want to see future conversations or even past conversations, please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
There you go. And we appreciate that.
It will really mean a lot to us.
Yes, it would. Please do. All right? And it helps us give you more content like this great gentleman here.
Yes.
We're going to give the last word to him. Ollie, what do you got to say, man?
Listen, I those of you who are watching, thank you very much, and continue to do so. This guy here and this young lady here are great people. But beside that, look at what they're doing. Look at what they actually intend. Look at what they're doing and see how it can help you know what's going on and what's not going on. You can follow me anytime. Google me, if you will, Ali Hackett, and what comes up comes up. And I'm going to keep on until God gives me my last breath. Keep on doing what I'm doing as far as the music is concerned. I thank you guys for inviting me and having me. I appreciate it.
Oh, great. And I'm sorry, one last thing. Is there any way to get in contact with you?
Absolutely. My website is AliHackettPresents.com. That's AliHackett Presents.com. Or you can just Google me. My phone number is 215-833-1941. I have no problems with anybody calling me, because if I don't want to talk to you, I can always hang up.
There you go.
Well, and everybody in Delaware, this is the guy. You have a party, you have a barbecue.
Absolutely.
This is the guy right here.
Absolutely. If you like oldies, I'm the person you want to talk to.
That's
the person you want to talk to. Yes.
And that's a beautiful thing. And we thank you so much. I thank you, man. This is really great.
No problem at all.
This is people like us. You know who I am. You know who everybody is there now. And we want to thank you all for checking us out. And we look forward to seeing you next time.
Take care.